How's it going, guys? Thanks for tuning in to another Stuff in Us video. Today we're going to be checking out the Godox RS60R. Alright, so if you're not familiar with the Godox RX60R, this is a brand new LED light for video that Godox has released. One of the cool things about this is the actual size of the unit, which is really nice, small, and compact. This is bicolor, also RGB, which is really nice. So you have a few different options as far as color goes. The battery is actually built into the light. Well, not built into the light, but it just snaps in like this. So it doesn't actually add any kind of big bulky battery or anything like that on the back end. It just kind of fits in there really nicely. So you can see this is the battery right here. All right. And that just snaps in just like that. On the front over here, you can remove this and you have just a light, or you have this here, which kind of helps diffuse the light just a little bit. These here are $280 right now on Amazon, and I actually picked up 2 of them. The whole point of me getting these was to be mobile, so if I had to do video shoot somewhere or I needed to do like an interview, talking heads, stuff like that, I could have a little light to bring along with me, which is super cool. The batteries, you can charge them via USB-C. If, say, your battery dies, all right, there's another USB-C port, so you can actually hook it up to a power bank or like a small rig battery, V-mount battery, USB-C power this without actually having the battery on there, which is really cool. This is the light here, and you're also going to get a little Godox case that comes with it. Inside of the case, you're going to have just basically a charging cable, USB-C charging cable, and a mount to mount it onto your light stand or whatever you want to mount it to. As far as mounting goes, on the bottom here, you have your little quarter mount there, and then this just slides in like this, and then your light is now mounted. The mount has a slot for an umbrella. They actually have a magnetic ring on the front. So this is a separate purchase, but this is basically a accessory kit for the light. These you can also pick up on Amazon. And these come with a bunch of different light modifiers that you can use on your light. All right, little barn door action. And like I said, they're just magnetic, so it just sticks on the light. All right, just like that. And now you have your barn doors. Okay, say you don't want your barn doors. You have a little like diffusion kind of bulb kind of thing. The one that I really like the most is the snoot. It's silicone, and it just kind of slides right on just like that. And you are ready to go with the light. It's great for a hair light. Great if you need to do a spotlight on a certain object in the background. Really cool. And yeah, I just like the way that the accessories kind of attach. It's super easy. You don't have to have a bones mount or anything on it. It just makes it really nice, small and compact, and easy to, tote around with you, which is really nice. So, all right, a couple other things it has. Diffuser, little thing. There's a honeycomb one on there too. And then it also comes with like a little bounce card, and also comes with some gels. Like I said, fits in a little case like this. So the case is super small, right? So then you have that case and your light, and this is pretty much all you need to get going for your next shoot. One of the other things that I really like about these Godox lights is they are actually the same type of mount as the lights I use for photography. So for photos, when I'm doing photos on location, I use the 8100 Pros, okay? And as you can see, size-wise, very similar in size, maybe just a little bit longer, just a tiny bit longer in size, but very similar, pretty much the same size around. So one of the reasons why I really like these Godox 8100 Pros is their portability and compactness. Now, what I really like about this is you can use them. They make special soft boxes, and you can see how that just pops open super quick. And the nice thing about it is on the back of this, there's actually a mount, magnetic mount. So that just slips in right like that, and look at that. You're ready to go. You can go do photos if you need diffusion somewhere. Now, if you take the RS60R, which is the video light, it can also do the same thing. Just goes in here and just sticks in like that. So if you're using the magnetic mount system, like I said, the same as the 8100 Pro, then you will love using the new Godox lights because all of your mounts are still going to be the same. Say you're like, hey Robert, well I don't have those diffusers, I have other soft boxes and stuff like that with the regular bones mount. Well, they actually make a mount for these lights too. So let me show you that real quick. So this is a mount that you can purchase. This is also made by Godox. And with this mount here, what you can do is you just basically slide your light in here like such. All right, you just slide your light in there like that. All right, and then this clamps down. And now you can mount any kind of bones mount onto the front of this. This goes onto your light stand, the light goes in there, shines through. So you have options. So if you have a bones mount, diffusion stuff now, soft boxes, pick up one of the adapters for the Godox and you can use them with that. Now, one of the things is with the magnetized mounts, they are going to be a little bit more expensive. So for instance, like the Adler Fastbox, I believe it's like $175 for just one of these. Whereas with cheaper soft boxes, you can probably pick them up for $40, $50. I believe the mount was around 20 bucks. So you get the mount. With the regular soft box, you're in about $60, $70. Or like I said, you can go with the Adler that's built and specifically made for the magnetized front of these lights, which is really cool. There's the light there. Goes all the way up to 10,000K, all right, which is kind of a bluer kind of a light. It goes all the way down to 1800K, which is really orange. All right, so those are going to be basically your bicolor settings. As far as other modes it has HSI mode. These are different hues you can do, so you can see you can do all the different colors, which is really nice. And another nice thing is you can actually control the saturation of the colors. So if you wanted it, pink color but maybe a light pink, you can lighten that up, or you can go with a little bit brighter pink. So there's a little digital screen on the side, which is really nice. Has a nice little readout. Another little readout will also give you the hours as far as how much battery life is left. 5500K full power lasts you about 45 minutes to 50 minutes, but that's about as much light as you're going to get out of it. So right now at 100%, it says I have about an hour and 9 minutes. That is always going down slowly. So 106, 105, but realistically at 100% using this light, from what I've tested, I've got about 45 minutes of light out of it. It also has built-in effects. Okay, so some of the effects that it has flash, lightning, cloudy, broken bulb, TV, candle, fire, fireworks, explosions, welding, cop car, SOS, RGB cycle, and party mode. So a lot of different built-in modes. I really didn't use any of them. They are there in case you do need them. Now the light is really nice. You can use it as a light for your background, just kind of like that. If you wanted something in the back of your thing, you could use it as a hair light. If you wanted like a little bit of a hair light, spotlight, spot it on something like that in the background to add a little bit of dynamic, lighting to your videos. And also a nice thing is they have an app for this. With the Godox app, you can actually control all of your settings from your phone. So say you have multiple of these set up for a shoot and you want to go in and adjust the light settings as far as the color, as far as the intensity. You don't actually have to go to the actual unit and push any buttons. You can do it all from your phone, which is super nice. You just kind of sit there, go through your thing, you name which camera is what, and then you can go in there and you can change the settings, which I think is a really cool feature. This light is really cool. I think for someone who's looking for portability, for someone who needs a light, for fill lights, for small videos just like this light is perfect for you. Now, those are all the things that I really like about the light. Now we'll kind of go to the flip side, and I'll tell you about a few things that I don't like about the light. One of the things I don't like about the light, obviously the battery life is only about 45 minutes, which is, that's okay. It's not bad, but it's not great. The only downside is these batteries, if you wanted to get extra batteries, you're looking at about $89 per battery, which in my opinion is kind of pricey because you would have to purchase multiple of those. The problem then comes in if you purchase extra batteries, there's not really anywhere to store the extra batteries, which I don't really like because the case is specifically made for the power cable, the handle, and then just the light to fit in like that. So if you did have an extra battery, you'd have to figure out where to put the extra battery, which I'm not really a fan of because I like to have everything in cases so I don't forget stuff when I actually pack all my gear for a shoot. So one of the downsides of that. Now, you could say, well, Robert, you said it can run off of USB-C, which is true. You can run it off a power bank. Problem then is you have to have a cable and you have to have your power bank. Not really a big issue because a lot of times when you're going on shoots, you have power banks anyways, but just something to be aware of that you do need that, and the batteries are an extra $89. As you can see behind me on the wall, I actually have another light that I'm using back there for a background light that is not a Godox light. It is actually the newer light. So this is a light that I'm using for my background light right now, and this is the newer MS60C. All right, so this is basically what I would say like the competition to this particular light. This is going to be the closest comparison. $289 for one of the Godox lights. For the newer MS60C, for the one light, $129. So a pretty big difference as far as price goes. This particular one here, the newer, is AC powered, so it does have an AC power that you can plug into, but it also has this bracket as far as battery. So it is also wireless. Now there's technically one wire here that you have to have connected from the batteries to the light, but other than that, this is the standalone unit, and this is the standalone unit, as you can see. Now, I actually have a light diffuser on here, but if you were to take it off, you could see size-wise, they're just about the same size, right around the same width. So these lights are very comparable as far as size goes. This one has a handle and on the handle is where the batteries mount. It runs off of Sony batteries. Okay, so these ones are like slim batteries, all right? So you can see how slim these are. So with these 2 batteries in here, you're gonna get about an hour worth of life out of this light. So 45 minutes for this, about an hour with these batteries. Now, the cool thing is you can actually upgrade these to the bigger batteries that are a little bit deeper, probably about that big. And for 2 of those batteries, you can get 2 of those batteries for around $25. So you get 2 of those huge batteries, which will power this thing for about 3 hours, versus an extra battery of this that's only gonna power it for 45 minutes, and it's also almost 3 times the price as these batteries. But the problem also is these are both supposed to be 60-watt lights, but this light is way brighter than the Godox light. So the Godox light, I would say, if you're using it in indoor environments like this, where you're gonna be close to the light, then these lights are gonna be fine. If you're in a bright room and you're trying to overpower the lights in the room and light your subject, this light may not do it for you because it may not just be powerful enough. You have this little like jog wheel thing that's kind of small. So if you have bigger hands, it might be kind of difficult for you to adjust. Whereas with the newer, you get your old traditional knobs that I like a lot better. I love the knobs. Faster to adjust, it's easier to twist versus this little jog wheel. I would say if you're someone who just likes something really small and compact, you're not gonna use it at its full brightness. You're just gonna use it, you know, at maybe 50% would be really good, or for background lights at less than 100%, then I'd say this light is pretty good. These are the Godox RS60R lights. Super cool system. I think they almost got it. If they can figure out a way to maybe make the battery extend a little bit longer, that would be really nice for me. I really like the attachment accessories. If you do like the attachment accessories, these are like $50 for this little, I think it's like 50 or 60 bucks for the diffusers, $350 for the 2 of these. And then if you want to add the battery, you're looking at almost 400 bucks. So definitely a difference in size. If you're looking for portability and something really small, the Godox lights are pretty legit for how small this is. Like I said, you just take this, you take your diffuser, right? Your diffuser tools, and then you take your little softbox and you're ready to go. This is all you need to do an interview, is these 3 pieces of equipment here. Just try it, buy it, check it out, and if you don't like it, return them. I got these from Amazon. 30 days you can have to return them in case you don't like them. Hopefully this video was helpful and answered some of your questions on the lights. If you like the video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to hit the bell so you get notified every time we put out a new video. And until next time, guys, see ya.